Salina. It's a bad baby. Oak Cliff girl. Can't make you change my world. Damn, you're so fine, girl. Oak Cliff girl. Put them heels on and move.
Welcome to Selena's Couch, where you are welcome to be free to be yourself. So you can lay your head on my couch, on my pillows.
It's all good, we can do whatever we wanna do now. I'm in my bag right now, and I got a feeling, babe, yeah. You're gonna be my number one lover. Spend the night making love to each other. With the lights on top of the covers. Just me and you, babe. And I feel like you're my
Love you to Reese's Pieces.
Get you a word. Nana nana boo boo.
Hey y'all, I hope you guys can hear me. If you can, please if come on in the chat and press 1. I'm doing an earlier live so that I can kind of chill. I got some studying to do, but I did want to do a part 2 to the astrology. Are there dangers to astrology, or is it hey look Cola, good to see you. Hey CX, good to see you, I haven't seen you in a minute, Nicole. I'm glad you're doing well. Always great to see you, CX. We talked about astrology. What is the other thing we talked? I really want to talk about some of the conspiracy theories that's out there. And then I wanted to talk a little bit just about a lot of stuff that's going on in the in social media. Hey Swifty Swift, how are you? And I'm gonna cam up in a minute, but I hope my car is not making too much noise, but some people say that I the sound is a little bit kind of irritating, so I hope it's not irritating as much. But we're gonna just talk, and it's an open panel, but I do have one of my special guests, one of my bros, another one of my bros here. Uh, he's very passionate about everything he does, and especially when it comes to telling people about, Christ and everything. He's very passionate. Also, his testimony about him dying and, going to hell, and giving his testimony on that. Hey, Marissa, good to see you. And so he's gonna, we're gonna just talk about everything. So I do have an open panel. Anybody that wants to talk about this type of stuff, more than welcome to come up. And yeah, so I would like to introduce once and again, but he really doesn't need an introduction, Mr. Dominic Myro. I said eventually I was gonna get your name right, Dominic.
You got this. It's all good.
I'm gonna cam up in a minute. I'm gonna cam up in a minute, but I'm driving right now. I definitely wanted to have you on my platform, as well as a few others, if they're available. Hi, how you doing?
Right. Hey, Wamshi to everyone. Wamshi. Hope everyone can hear me clearly.
I can hear you. And you said
Right,
what is his name? Kafdor. Can you pronounce that? Kafdor. It's a name. God bless you. Okay. Hey, Omega. What's good, Red?
Oh, God bless you all. Wamshi.
All right. And we're going to talk a little bit. Now, first of all, I want to ask you, what for those people that don't know, what is Wamshi? Can you explain that to us?
Yes. Wamshi. Well, first it took me 19 years to create my own language. It's called Elix. So Wamshi in Elix means love and completion. So when I say Wamshi, that means we're in the same atonement. It's pretty much like we're in agreement. So Wamshi. There you go.
Okay. Well,
amen.
We talked about your divine revelation of hell the last time.
Yep.
And I wanted to do a part three, but I also want to put it with also the astrology and things of that nature. You were saying that there were certain categories in hell, people that did witchcraft and that gossip. When you talked about people that practice witchcraft or any of occult practices, can you go into details, because that kind of stems into our conversation of talking about astrology. Hey, Naomi.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Yeah, that's a great question. Well, first and foremost, with anybody who does any tarot cards, astrology, anything, you're illegally accessing eternity. You're taking a shortcut to eternity when you do these
Okay.
things. Okay, you got to earn your way to eternity. You got to earn your way through this hardship. That's what the human experience is about. So when you do these things, you are consulting demons, familiar spirits, monitoring spirits to cheat. Period.
Uh-huh.
That's just the basic foundation of it. You're cheating. You're illegally
Uh-huh.
accessing the spiritual realm. Period. So that's why you stay away from that, because once you access these things, even though they make it seem harmless, Ouija boards, little tarot cards here and there, little seances, little psychic readings, it's nothing pertaining, it's nothing cute about none of that. Period, you all.
Uh-huh.
Because you're giving access, you're giving permission for demons to enter your life. See, they have to have permission. That's why people don't understand. Directly or indirectly, when you do these things, you're giving permission for these entities to enter your life. Period. So don't
Uh-huh.
cheat. I'm just telling you off top, and this is facts, because I was cheating when I was in Santeria. You get a lot of shortcuts. Trust me, you get a lot of great things at first, but it's a lot of back end pay to that, you all. To everything, you
Uh-huh.
have to pay for everything when you're dealing with psychics, astrology, especially astrology. Um, have you noticed? We talked about that before, sister. How about all of the signs? You got the same stuff in them, though. We all go through the
Right.
same stuff. I can pick one and just switch the signs around and still relate to it. Just say if
Right.
I
Right.
switch
Right.
Taurus with Sagittarius, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, dang, you ain't gonna even know because you're gonna think that's meant for you, but you're still gonna be able to relate
Yeah.
to it.
Right.
Like
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you, it's facts.
I noticed like a lot of people ask me, what's your sign? And I said I've had people say, well, your sign has a lot to do with your personality.
Right.
uh Now the tricky thing about it, I think that sometimes lies are mixed with a little bit of truth. Okay, now, and the reason why I said that was
No,
because in
that's
the book of,
facts.
yeah, the book of Enoch, where the angel that was the one that kind of introduced it to mankind.
Mm-hmm.
um and it was where, it was basically has something to do with the stars. Like
Yep.
some people will say, well, there were 12 disciples. I can't even talk right now. Disciples, and then
They were
there's
based off the
12
zodiac.
stars. Yeah, there's 12 star, zodiac signs. And
Yep.
so how that's correlating with basically, God or the Bible. He made the
Yep.
stars. So why can't we read the stars?
No,
Why
because
is,
listen, that's a great question. Is because Lucifer perverted everything. Everything is perverted. Look at the
right,
rainbow.
right. And I
Look at
love the
sex.
rainbow.
Look at
Right,
language. Look at culture. Everything that Lucifer and these demons touched that God made good is perverted. Everything,
right,
including the stars, including the reading of the stars. He didn't make the stars to read your personal details of your life. He made the stars to read the seasons first and foremost. Let's keep it 100 if you read the scriptures. It was
right.
made to map out the seasonal. It was made for us to navigate the seasons. It had nothing to do with worshiping those things. Like
Okay.
literally. See how Lucifer came, and now they came and created themselves as deities representing the higher planes. That's why you read the book of Ephesians, chapter 6, starting with verse 18. Including it's talking about principalities in higher places in the heavenly realms, right? So they
Uh-huh.
put themselves amongst the stars. Even Lucifer said that at the beginning in Genesis, he wants to be amongst the stars. He wants to be higher than the stars. He wants to be up there. So that's why they symbolically took the stars as a reference for themselves. That's why if you look at a lot of the movies, I'm not going to say a lot of the names, but if you see, they always reference the falling stars, the falling stars. They associate themselves with stars. They have nothing to do with what the Father created. They symbolically took it like they took everything else.
Right,
Period.
right. Okay.
Yeah.
So So when they say, "Oh, a Sagittarius is free spirit," we're blondes, and some of that is my personality, but I don't think it's just. I don't think it has a lot to do with the stars. I think maybe it's just who I am, and somehow it
Exactly.
fits into whatever that astrology sign is saying.
Exactly.
Um,
It's experience. It's about
mhm.
your personal experience because I could become a free spirit, but I'm a
Right.
so-called Taurus. But you see what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah.
all of these things reference everything, but when you get the Holy Spirit in you, you access something in you, and you everything. We all go through the same problems, you all. Literally, like different measures. You know what I mean? We all have different experiences, but we have same problems. Like I
Right.
keep telling people, we got 99 problems and humans ain't one at this point. Because we dealing with
Right.
stuff behind the scenes, like you all, I'm sure y'all going in the same on every level of association, whether it's financial, physical, mental, spiritual, medical. We getting bombarded from every attack. So the last thing you need is to go to a psychic. And I'm gonna put y'all on that
Right.
too.
Right.
You gonna go
Okay.
to a
I'm trying
psychic
to.
playing with cards.
Right.
No, just listen. Listen. It is what it is. This is what it's about. Like for example, like I'm not going to reveal my family member's name, but they are quote psychic. But the fact is, she just told me the game. The game is her her demons, familiar spirits, talk to everybody else familiar spirits. So all she do is just interpret the conversations between two familiar spirits. So it make you think that the
What?
psychic has the power, but the psychic is doing nothing but listen to your demon. That the
Oh,
demon is going to have you.
okay.
Do you see what I mean? Literally.
So so basically it's a they call it the spirit guide, right? So the spirit guide that the psychic has talks to the familiar spirit, which is a demon,
Yes.
uh, about that already knows your life, right?
Yeah. Remember,
So
you're born with
okay.
it. That's why it's called a familiar spirit. As soon as you're
Okay.
born with one, you're born, you already automatically attached to one. Everyone. Some people have 3 or 4. That's why they call destiny blockers. You have some people with the ability that they know we don't even know our own destiny, so they make sure that we don't see it. So they keep us distracted, right? They keep us distracted with
Uh-huh.
things of not importance to make sure you're a regular person, so you don't tap into know who you are. Because if you know who you are, the enemy's in trouble. You see what I mean?
Right.
Right. I call them destiny blockers and familiar spirits. So when my family member told me how she makes her hustle is using her demon to talk to other people's demons, and the people think that she has power. And the fact is, no, it's just two demons. That's why it's called medium. She's just a
Mm-hmm.
medium between a conversation between two fallen entities or familiar spirits or monitoring spirits, destiny blockers. They come in all different levels. Um, it depends on the person. You have a lot of people who gave up, who don't know who they are. So they just waiting. The demons just surround them, waiting for them to die, just harassing them and distracting them till they die. But then you have those who are trying to fulfill their purpose. That's why life gets harder and harder and harder. They keep throwing distractions. You get over one hurdle, another one comes. That's not a coincidence, you all. That's them. They're destiny blockers. They're trying to make sure that you don't wake up to your eternal purpose. So that's why it's
Mm.
very crucial to keep your portals closed. What did our Lord say? Keep your gates, your eyes and your ears, your gates protected as much as you can. Because we at the stage where the demons trying to come in, especially if you're important, especially if you're valuable. And now we at the vibratory stage where we're starting to wake up to know who we are. So now we're going to be under attack more. So now let's use all of this pressure to be under attack as fuel to grow in him, because you can't grow without pressure, you all. I mean, you can't get muscles without weight, right? So, I mean, let's use it as fuel. We're not going to be victims no more. We're done with that. We see what it is. We're in a spiritual war. We're starting to see what the book Corinthians is talking about. The unseen is more realer than the things that are seen. It is what it is. It's facts now. We're done. The matrix is coming. The veil is lifted at this point. So if those who want to be background people, I don't know what you call it, NPCs or whatever, like, the background people, they can stay there. I ain't worried about them. We worried about those who are awakened, those who want to fight these destiny blockers, familiar spirits. Do not play with Ouija boards, tarot cards, astrology. Go to him. We have a direct source. That's another reason why we hate it on so much by different entities in the universe, is because we have him in us. We literally
Right.
have them in us. They don't. They got to work for it and do all of this. We literally have him in us, and that's why they try to distract you so you can't access him within you.
So I don't know if I asked this question, but the relative that is a psychic, right? That knows about, she's basically being used by a demon to talk to another person's demon
Yep,
about them. She
yep,
actually knows that she's talking to a demon, not a spirit
yeah.
guide.
She's Santeria. See,
Wow.
Santeria. Once you're in different levels in Santeria, you give yourself to these principalities. You know what it is. It's like certain levels of Freemasonry and Masonry. Once you get to a certain level, at first, when you first start off, you really don't know until you get to a certain degree. Like, oh, but then by then it's too late. You know, so it's the more you get revealed. So my family member, he's been in there so long at this point. No, they know who they talking to. They summon them up. They use them at this point. They like,
Mhm.
yeah, they know what they doing. Yeah, she know exactly what she's doing. So yeah, she surrendered. She made her choice. Consecration of choice. You all use your free will wisely, please.
So when she hears about your testimony of actually dying and going to hell and seeing these certain people, categories of people that were in hell,
Uh-huh.
like, that doesn't bother her. She
Oh,
doesn't
it
feel
bothers half
any.
of my family. They call me, a lot of them call me a traitor. I'm a traitor because I represent Yahshua, because I gave up, because I know too much on the other side. You see what I'm saying? Because I was sent in, I know about the non-principalities, and I'm giving up the ghosts. I'm giving them all up. I'm snitching them out. I'm snitching them out to save mankind because we've been lied to. So they consider me a traitor, most of them, to be honest. But a lot of them are starting to wake up behind the scenes. But I can't reveal that because they would be in danger themselves, because that's how serious this is. It's deeper than gangs, organizations. Listen, when you give your life these principalities, you all, like, it's beyond. This is corporal. It's social. It's listen. This is involved in every fabric of our life. You can see high school teachers, principals, janitors, police officers, judges. You wouldn't have no idea they nightlife. Let me tell you, they drinking blood and doing sacrifices, butt naked in robes. Listen, I'm telling you, the most prestigious people, these earthly credentials. So that's why I don't believe in none of that. I don't honor none of these earthly credentials. You'll know the tree by its fruit. That's, you go straight for the spirit. That's why I don't honor nobody's money. I don't care about none of that stuff, cars, all of that. Because behind the scenes at night, you know what they're doing to get that? Do you know the principalities they work for to get their earthly false credentials and money?
Uh-huh.
I'm telling you, this is real, you all. You would never believe your little innocent teacher with your third grade teacher with your kid in that school behind the scenes. She behind the scenes. Yeah, okay. Mrs. Wilson doing some other stuff. Listen, I'm just saying.
Wow.
No, this is facts. You all, listen, I'm exposing everything. You would never believe it. But you know how you can identify them? Most of them wear little red bracelets. You all, if you see them wear the little thin, I'm snitching on them. They wear the little thin, it's a little yarn bracelet. It looks very
Right.
innocent. It's a little one red. There's no decorate. It's one little. If you see that, please pray for protection. Does that mean they got some power? It's just one
So
red yarn. And they school
eh,
teach. Listen, you'll see it everywhere. Watch when I tell you. Now you're gonna start recognizing. Watch.
yeah.
I guarantee you.
Um, are they with the Kabbalah? Is it with the
No, the
Kabbalah?
Kabbalah, that is a whole different class. You have different classes,
Okay.
like you have different classes, like have gang bangers, local street gang bangers, and you have the mafia, and then you got the
Uh-huh.
black men, and then you got stuff for the black. It's different levels. Okay,
Okay.
that's the Zionists.
Yeah.
I call
Hmm.
that the hand of Zion. Okay,
Right.
those are the ones that the Bible was talking about that claim to be Jews, but they're nothing but the synagogue of Satan. Okay, those are the
Right.
ones who run the show right now behind the scenes that are doing a lot of stuff. The Kabbalah also is international. Okay, it's not about race. And they also dwell Enochian magic off of it. There's so many spin-offs to Kabbalism. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Enochian magic. Then you have a form of Taoism, which is ancient. It precedes Buddhism. It's about the balance of energies and everything, how the opposites equal and all of this. But then they also made, it just gobbling up everything. How Lucifer gobbled up all natural sciences that our Father created that were natural, pure and good. He gobbled them up and transformed into this interdimensional, hell portal, open, worshiping them type energy. So, we just got to kind of revamp and do our own research. That's why I tell people to stop being spiritually lazy and start researching for their own. I tell people, don't believe
Right.
me. Research what I'm telling you. Don't believe nothing I'm telling you. Go see it for yourself. It took me
Right.
years and years and years and years and years and years to start putting these puzzles together on my own. I heard a lot of good things from people, but then I took it and went and okay, well, and then you add a piece to the piece. But you got to do your own research because, like I said before, we can share a belief, but we can't share faith. You all, faith is ultra personal.
Right. Right.
That's between me and him. It's like it's between you and him. That's personal, but we can share the same belief. But faith is ultra personal. Just like when you get your own wisdom, when you find it out, when you research yourself, it becomes yours. You obtained it, and it's just like it's more enduring. It's more spiritual nutrients that is added to your fiber of your being.
Right. Well, I'm gonna ask Brainwaves. Thank you so much for that. I'm gonna come back to you,
Yes, amen.
Dominic.
I'm here to listen. Let's
Uh,
go.
Shout out to Brainwaves. I got some busy men around here, but y'all grace me with your presence, and I appreciate you guys and your knowledge. Brainwaves. I know that you also have been in the New Age as well as is it Egyptology? If I'm pronouncing it correctly. And a lot of times, you hear different people's perspective, and I like to try to be open enough to hear what people have to say. But you were on that side where you studied a lot of that, and a lot of the, I would say, conflict with Christianity. And I'm not going to even call it Christianity because, nobody was called Christian back in those days. They were called believers, I believe, or followers of Christ or whatever, or the Messiah. But there is some slight differences. Well, not slight. There's some big differences in the way people see things. I wanted to get um, your, your information, not information. I wanted to get your insight on Egyptology, and can you go and explain that? Hold on just a second.
Yeah, but blessings, brother. Could you hear me?
Yes, sir. What's going on, Pastor?
Go ahead, Brainwaves, and talk about it. Go
Yeah, go
ahead and
ahead.
talk about it.
Okay. I just want to make sure. Um, that what I like to
Hey, you
do.
got to turn your mic up.
Yes, sir. What I like to do when I explain things is I like to keep everything simple, because though we may understand, or even some of you in the live chat may understand, there are others that don't. And so what happens is Egyptology, it really became prominent once we had the whole marriage to Caesar, that whole Greek mythology aspect. And what you'll find is when you study Egyptology and Greek mythology, you're going to find that they have a lot of those Greek gods and goddesses have the exact same names, or they're referred to as so and so is this or so and so is that. And this is one of the things that to this day we might push more of the quote unquote Greek mythology. But for those that actually understand Egyptology, they'll say, and that's a lot of people that are in the New Age spiritual community, they're going to say that, okay, well, this is closer to our roots because we are Black, or we're African, or we're this, or we that. We come from here, come from this tribe. So, of course, they're going to gravitate towards the Egyptology side versus the Greek mythology side, where we might have our quote unquote Caucasian brothers and sisters out here, they'll gravitate towards the Greek mythology and obviously push that particular narrative. What we essentially have is you have stories that are one and the same, and you have interpretations that are one and the same. And this even goes into the like African Orishas, and all of the cultures essentially are worshiping what you could say are the same gods and goddesses. And what that comes from, obviously, they have their twist on it in terms of their spiritual beliefs. Everyone has a different flavor, so to speak. Like Burger King, you got Wendy's, Chick-fil-A. Well, I'll take Chick-fil-A out, but like Wendy's, Burger King, McDonald's, for example, they all make burger and fried and drink combos, but yet they all have a different flavor. They're exactly the same, but a different flavor. So that's how that gets laid out. Well, when it comes to a lot of us, we believe, well, I'm researching my history. We come from Africa, we come from the motherland. And so there's a propensity for us to gravitate towards the Egyptology aspect on it. And so in the Egyptology aspect, this again, you'll find similarities in the other different versions, but you'll find that there's a lot of reincarnated gods and goddesses. You have a god for this, a goddess for that, one that represents this aspect of your life. It could be one for money, one for war, one for fertility. Some of them might be one and the same, or they kind of run with certain different types of groups, I would say, of things that you might want in your life. And so what ends up happening is people gravitate towards that because they say, hey, I want to be prosperous, or hey, I want to focus on health, or I want to focus on this. And so you see this collective worship on calling on certain deities, calling on certain beings in Egypt. And they were marked in hieroglyphics. There's a lot that we do know and don't know. There was a lot of different type of worship that was going on, and this was talked about in the Bible. This is nothing new. We knew about this in the Bible. They were doing any and everything. They called on whoever, whatever. They believed a lot in the afterlife. So there's a lot of that going on, and they believe in uh, reincarnation, even though that's more of a Hindu nature type thing, but they believe in reincarnation. So what you'll find people do today is they say, hey, I resonate because I feel like I like the sun, for example. I like the sun. I like summertime. I like it when it's sunny. That's me. I feel that. I resonate with that. So they'll call on the Egyptian god Ra, for example, which you'll find that Ra was supposed to be God, the sun, and this is where you get a lot of sun worship. And then it's to be a parallel or some type of mimic, or whatever version you want to refer to it as how we quote unquote worship Christ as the son, because no, you can't get to the Father unless you go through the Son. So a lot of this, and you have a lot of people that's in that spiritual practice, they embrace that along with what we know of today as Christianity. But
Isn't
it's
that Murtherism too? Murtherism.
yes, yes. It's a vast, 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 and I said it 3 times for a reason, a field of faith that a lot of people decide to go down into because they believe, I'm feeling this way, let me call on this God. I'm feeling this way, or I have this situation, let me call on this goddess. And it goes back to what Pastor Dominic was saying earlier. Those Egyptian gods and goddesses are essentially what demons actually can manifest as today, and they become their familiar spirit. So a lot of people set up altars. They wear paraphernalia. They got everything from earrings to rings to clothes to scent fragrances. They practice on conjuring them up and paying homage to them, so that whenever they go, well, I'm being protected by this Egyptian god or goddess, or I can call on this to help you out and send this that way. And it's exactly what I say. Same old beats, same old flows. It's all the same. It's just a different version. So one person may say, well, hey, because I look like this, or I feel connected to this region of the world, or I have family or friends, or I've been exposed to this, that's me. That's where I belong. And that may be the case. I don't want to dive too deep in it, but the point is, what you see is exactly the same thing as they're talking to demons. They're talking to the spirits that feed them information, that give them things. These demons protect people. That's why some people can go out there and wild out. You may wonder, Selena, in the audience, like, how come certain things doesn't happen to people? You know they're bad, you know they're wicked. You may wonder, well, I don't understand. Shouldn't they have gotten hurt, or shouldn't this have touched them, or what have you? They are being protected by those demonic forces to continue to do their bidding. So it's just like how we say God protects us, the Holy Spirit protects us, His holy angels, etc., protect us. It's the same thing. It's not as powerful, it's not as righteous, etc., but
you're right, because it comes from the Ka and the Ba, right? You remember they talking about the Ka and the Ba, and that's from Egypt. They were talking about the Holy Spirit, the little spirit that's in you, that's from the Father, right? From the eternal spark, right?
Yeah.
Trust me, hey, I'm with you. I'm with you all the way. That's why I don't use the word Christian. That's why I'm glad our sister Selena corrected herself and said, no, the word Christian is not. That's not applicable, and that's right, because the word Christian was actually used as a roast word. Like actually, the word Hebrew is used as a by-roast word. Hebrew is a derogatory word, by the way, for those that don't know. You know, so those who are Hebraic and say Hebrew, that was the equivalency of the word N-word.
N-word,
that way. You see what I'm saying? Like literally, you know. Yeah, hey man, no, this brother, hey, let's go. No, I love it. I love it.
So I got two of the smartest men on YouTube. So I knew that
The
you
more I
guys.
learn, the more I don't know anything. So, but thank you, though. I appreciate that. But
I wish I could have somebody that's on the opposing end, you know, that believes differently than you. But I guess you know, nobody's gonna come up. But I do want to ask this question. You know, there's people that believe that the African gods are the oldest gods. They're older than Yahweh. They're older than you know, it's like, you know, these guys were here way before, you know, time
hey,
began or
can I just say
whatever.
one
So
thing? Oh, sis, I'm sorry to cut you off, but that was a great question. Listen, you even asked this. Was somebody even asking that already answered that question while they're asking that? First of all, time doesn't exist in eternity. So if anybody talking about anything is older, that means their gods exist in the realm of time. So that means they already disqualified. So if anybody talk about older, first of all, the fabric of eternity, everything that's housed in all dimensions of any universe, with any physical dimensional properties here, is housed in eternity. Eternity is not even the fabric of energy; it's the house of energy. It's beyond. It's beyond. That's what I'm saying. So if anybody talking about anything older, they already disqualified, because our Father don't even have time. It don't even exist for our Father. So if they little deities and demon gods and demons and fallen angels, they exist in time. So let them have it. But they already disqualified themselves by even saying that. Who's older? Time doesn't exist. They should know that.
right. Well, you know, I just heard that, you know, that, and I just wanted to, you know, kind of just put that out there,
Oh,
because
that's
I
what I
have
say.
heard people to say that, you know, the African gods are the oldest gods, even before, you know, Yahweh,
Yeah. So why
that
didn't
it
even
was
say
them.
Africa? Why didn't even
Yeah.
say Africa? First of all, Africa, America, all of these Kas, it means serpent. First of all, the Ka means the serpent. Okay. People need to start getting educated. Okay. There was no such thing as Africa. What is that? Am I right, brother?
Yes,
For real, Brainway, am I right?
that's correct, because that was their way of quote unquote cursing us, saying that things that we were into were wrong and evil. And so that's why a lot of people try to pick it back up or try to hold on to it, right or wrong, wrong or right, because they're like, well, this is where I came from. This is my culture and all of that. And we get the attempt, but it's not aligned correctly. So that's why there's not much progress in terms of what they're trying to achieve by doing that.
Hey
Okay.
man, hey brother, can I ask you a question?
Yes,
What do
sir.
you feel about the book of Deuteronomy 28? Don't you feel that's relevant? Like, because it blew my mind when I picked it apart. I need people to read the Old Testament in the Bible, in the scriptures, book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28. Please, you all. It blew my mind. And when it took me 2 years. I cross-referenced and broke it You all, I got the chills talking about it. So what do you feel about that, my brother?
I mean, it's basically to me, it's what's relevant right now. That's a right now. It might be Old Testament, but it's a right now chapter. And in order, like everyone's looking around right now, well, what should we go? Like they're looking at, for instance, and I don't want to turn it into, I'll just touch on it. They're looking at our current political state, whether you're pro or against things that are happening. I know a lot of people are still confused. Again, whether they're pro or against any particular position. And instead of, they thought that someone was going to lead them, but the power in Deuteronomy is telling us how we need to go ahead and pick up the torch and lead ourselves. And so that's what's been missing all along, because we've been comfortable. We've been sitting back. Same thing with having this conversation now about spirituality. We've been sitting back waiting. Well, I don't know, somebody will figure it out. They'll handle it. And what the Most High, what he's, the Father's calling us to do is to get involved. We actually, and I'm not just saying us here, but collectively, we have to actually get involved with our spirituality, because all these answers we're looking for, all these things we're trying to figure out, he has all those answers, but we're not following what he told us to do, and we're not trying to seek him. Seek ye first, and all these things will be added unto you. I'm just paraphrasing that whole scripture, but we're not seeking him first. We're seeking the president first. We're seeking our money first. We're seeking the internet, ourselves, these fallen angels, these beings. We're doing everything. And what I always like to ask people, is something I learned in business. Okay, so you're doing this, you're doing that, you've been seeking this, you've been trying to do that. So how is that working out for you? How is that working out for your life? And you'll see it's not going to be good. It's not good for a lot of people. They're confused.
No, I concur, man. I concur, and thank you. That was a very intelligent and responsive answer. I appreciate that, for real, big time. I like this. I like this, because unfortunately, and sister, you as well, it's only a few of us left that we can have real intellectual, real nourishing, spiritual conversations that really mean something. You know what I mean? And so I appreciate being on here. I appreciate being on, with both of you all. But you all, please stay away from the astrology, tarot cards, Ouija boards, portal openers, fake psychics. Stay away from all this stuff. You already have it in you. You have the relationship. You have the capabilities. Stop being spiritually lazy. Go to him. Stay motivated every day. Please, you all. Don't fall for the okie doke. Right. The brother was saying, also we all fell for it. We all grew up with it.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you brought it up, brother, because a lot of brothers and sisters don't have a lot of energy, or I want to say confidence or courage to bring out the truth about sun worship. That's why me and my children, they grown. They'll tell you never once day in their life, we don't celebrate Christmas. We don't play that. Okay. Constantine, and everybody wanted to appease the pagans and the Christians. So we automatically, through generational, all right, we've been programmed to worship the sun. We've been programmed to worship demons. We've been programmed to be entertained. We've been programmed to think, it's just normal, it's harmless, right? Don't we always say that? Right. Yeah. Everybody worshiping Easter bunnies. You worshiping Ishtar? Right. Ishtar is Easter, you all. It has nothing to do. What is an Easter bunny? No, it's a fertility goddess. Okay?
Yeah.
It's a fertility goddess. Okay. But speaking of Egypt, right? It's a fertility goddess. Okay? And her thing is represented by an egg with serpents around the egg. Sometimes she's a half crocodile with eggs around her. Okay, that's her depiction. Okay, so when you worshiping Easter, it has nothing to do with our Lord Yahshua at all. Nothing. You worshiping Ishtar, and it also has something to do with the sun, because that's when the sun is literally in the middle of the equator. Right? Am I right, brother? See?
Absolutely.
See, that's what I'm saying, you all. So we need to be careful with these things that we're participating in. So we already been brainwashed. But I'll let the newcomer Amber, somebody just came in, but I'll let y'all talk. But yeah, thank you, brother. I just want to concur with you and just say, hey, you right on. Let's go, brother. Keep it going. Let's go.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna say this real quick with what you just said, Pastor. This is refreshing, because it encourages me when I think when the time comes, like we're in some things, but when we're in the thick of things, like when it's third quarter, fourth quarter, what have you, we like really like game time. It's refreshing to know that regardless of where we are, what's going on, everything's gonna be all right because the right people get it, like us, and we're gonna help everyone else get it. So it's like we know it's like, okay, yeah, he got them covered, she got them covered, et cetera, et cetera. So it's very comforting to us to get it.
Mm. Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you, Amber, for joining us. There's another female up here. I appreciate you for coming up. Shout out to Amber. Amber, what do you have to add to this conversation?
Well, first of all, thank you for letting me up on the panel. I love these two guys. I love them. I mean, I have disagreements here and there. Not disagreements, or maybe just things I don't understand. But
Okay.
as I go on my journey, the more I listen, the more I can comprehend, right? And see, that's
Right.
what it's all about. People take the chance to listen to what they're saying, right? And
Right.
so now, when Dominique is speaking, what he's talking about, I totally get what he's saying, and brainwaves as well. But I just want to know. Well, I got two things that I want to make a point of, and that is that each one of them, and you, Selena, and I also feel that I have my part. I feel like I know my purpose. A lot of us are here at this time. That's what's going on the earth to be help guide people, show them, let them learn. They need guidance. They need clarity. They need some kind of. Everybody's looking for something to grasp onto as their truth. But
Right.
the first thing that people need to realize, I feel, is, and I want to know both of their input on this. Once you know who you are and what your purpose is, then you understand things just come into line, and you can see you have this like the veil is lifted and you can see, right? But the more in touch you are with who you are and why you are here and what you're supposed to be doing, the more battles that are going to come up against you. You know, because the truth is not supposed to be known to us. But I just feel like Dominique and Brainwaves, they know, they know, especially when they acknowledge, about the Ouija board, about tarot reading, the cycles, and then Dominique is talking about time. We know that mankind, man, we made time so we could have a reference point as to this happened this time. People have to go by the clock, but if they go by their internal clock, they don't really need one except as a reference point. You know what I'm saying? So with
Yeah.
all that said, I just want to know how they feel about
Is it just me or does Amber sound muffled? I don't know. I
it's
can't.
you. It's
Yeah,
you.
I
I have
just
a hard time. I had a hard time hearing. If possible, you can turn yourself up or unclear yourself. I had a very hard time hearing.
Oh, I'm
Likewise.
sorry. But I know, Selena, before I came up, you got a feedback on you. You got a real bad feedback.
yeah, I know because it's I guess it's my car, so I don't know what's going on with that, but I definitely can't hear you as well.
Um,
So even if I did pull it on, put my mic on mute, I still couldn't hear you. So
well, how about now? About now? Is it any
Yeah.
better now?
okay, well,
Well, overall, I just
um,
hope everyone heard the message that we're getting across thus far. This has been very beneficial. Very the fellowship is great. I love it. We got to keep this going. Actually, you all, you know what I mean.
let,
Let's go.
let me ask you this question. Now, Amber, were you finished? Because I didn't want to ask this question if you weren't finished.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and drop down since you can't hear me. I don't know what's going on with my
Okay.
whatever. I love you
I,
guys.
I appreciate you coming up, Amber. I really
Much
do.
love, Amber. Much love on Wamshi. We love you, Amber.
So
Wamshi.
All right.
and I'm going to ask this question because, I see a lot of African American women that are I would say into African spiritualism, and they're saying, oh, they're going back to their roots, and we talked a little bit about that a little earlier. They're going back into their roots because they say everybody comes from Africa, so we're gonna go back into our roots and start doing some of this. I say spell work, and I think they call it spell work. I'm not for sure what they call it, but what do you think about that? It seems like it's a very large increase of
Can I
African
start?
American women.
Do you
Go
mind if
ahead.
I just
I
real
don't.
quick?
I don't.
Because I go through it a lot. Listen, well, first and foremost, I blame our brothers. Here, I blame us. I blame us for that because our sisters have to look up to something else for strength, for any kind of spiritual supplement that's outside, and we supposed to have been providing that. So, me as a brother, I'm not blaming no outside. I'm saying me as a participant. That's why I'm changing my life and doing everything that I'm doing because it's our fault that our sisters have to go outside for demons to look for inspiration. So that's the first and foremost I want to answer that, brothers. Let's get it together. Second of all, they promise things. Like I said earlier, because I was in Santeria. What did you say earlier, brother? You said it earlier as well, right? So they give this presentation of a better life, more confidence, more power. You don't have to worry. This face a false sense of security. See, because nothing what a woman wants is nothing like security on all levels. And do you see what I mean? Like this is facts, okay? Just like a woman's supposed to provide for a man certain different levels of things, but when they go to these different African deities and African gods, they are abandoning something that we supposed to have been providing here as a culture, here as a spirituality for them, here as a security, here as just a guide. So I think once we fill that in, that's why our sisters are going off to all of this mysticism and all of this stuff, because it's fake promises, fake gifts, fake confidentiality, fake security. That's just my quick synopsis.
Man, he pastor just that's when you're on the same frequency, biblically speaking, because he literally just took the words out of my mouth. I was gonna say in the very beginning, again, the problem with a lot of where our women are, and I talk about this a lot, is us men. You don't see us men when you look at the structure of just any type of religion, it's predominantly occupied by women. I don't care if it's Satanism, it's witchcraft, if it's Christianity, Catholicism. Maybe when you get to more of the like Eastern, you may see more men pick up if you get to like Buddhism and things like that, and that shows with their culture too, because you see more discipline. You don't have a lot of the issues that we have here. Just to look at how it manifests in reality, and so again, just as Pastor Dominic said, a lot of our women, they're looking for that leadership. As much as women say, I'm, like Lil Boosie, I'm INDEP, I don't want to go through the whole spelling out independent, but as much as they say, I'm an independent woman or I make my own money, I got this. At the end of the day, regardless whether she has all of that, she still need that headship of a man. And it's talked about that even biblically. How a woman, I have my own raiment, I have my own clothes, just take this reproach away from me. That's what the scripture says. Basically, just say, hey, I'm your woman, so I can say I have a man, or rather, I have a husband. And in that way, no one will look at me like, okay, well, you got this job, you got all of this, but you ain't got no husband. You know how women go. So they're searching for that spiritual headship, that spiritual leadership. And even if you're not romantically involved with women, we as men as a whole aren't covering women. There's a lot of women that I interact with that it has nothing to do with romance, but they come to me as their spiritual leadership. When they have questions and guidances in terms of what direction to go on or something to embark, if it's not some other man that can fit that bill at that particular time, a lot of times they'll come to me. And it just may be a simple question. I say that because again, us as men, we too tired, we got too lazy, we've dropped the ball. This goes back to that whole Deuteronomy 28 conversation that we was talking about. We've gotten lazy. You look at our generations before us, they put in work, they grind, they work. So they were there for their family members. They were there for their community, their friends. If a sister or brother, somebody come up, we wouldn't hesitate to help make sure that she's good or what have you. Now, people like, whatever. And so when it comes to these other practices, they fill in that false sense of illusion. Like, come this way. You'll have all the answers you need. You'll get this. It'll
Amen.
provide that. And it will provide it for them at front. It'll
Yep.
be that honeymoon phase. And that's what the deception. They're like, girl, I tried this. I'm getting fulfilled here. I've got answers. I've got clarity. Look at my life. I'm doing better. And then after they got you, after the honeymoon, reality sets it. It's like buying a new car or something, a new house. When them bills, when the money really start hitting in after the newness, the novelty wears off, boom, that's when they start turning up because then you're familiar. You've engaged with them. And then now they got work for you to do. Okay, now that we gave you this, because they don't give you anything for free. That's the illusion. It's not out of the biblical love. It's not out of agape love. It's not, hey, I'm just giving this to you just because it's just what we're supposed to do. I don't care if I get anything back. I don't want anything back. That's how God operates. But see, when it comes to these other practices, they teach you that, do this and you'll get something. And they teach you how you start. Burn this incense and then you'll get this. Put this on the altar and then you'll get that.
So wait a minute. So you're saying, Brainwaves, that some of the women that get into some of the African spiritualism, which you guys, y'all think it's witchcraft, correct? I just want to make sure. Well,
There's
okay.
no thing. It's a fact.
Okay. I just want to ask you that. So with that being, do you feel like some Black, especially African American women, we feel powerless because we don't have that covering, that man to lead us?
See, it's not even just the man. Let's get this clear, because you know what? I was just talking to my peoples about this, I think a couple of weeks ago, about how we are missing the ancient Black grandma. We getting less and less of that ancient grandma. Now you got grandmas dancing in the club, shaking with their daughters and their granddaughters. The Black grandma is the oracle. She was always been the oracle of every family. Okay, that is vanishing, and we're in trouble. We're in trouble because the oracle, that grandma, carried the essence, of that purity, of that strongness of a woman. Okay, like that hold stuff down on all levels of association. Held it down spiritually, held it down morally, held it down educated. Like, ain't going for it. Ain't nobody disrespecting grandma. Like, you see what I'm saying? Held that anchor down of morality to each family. And now that's gone for us as a culture, our people. Okay. And when that is starting to vanish, the same way they attack the institution of our family. They took the father out the home, okay, with food stamps. Okay, that was systematically done. It's already proven. It's facts. Ain't no conspiracy theory. They destroyed us. They took the man out the home because they know the institution of the family is the most powerful weapon. The enemy know that, especially when it comes to our people. But that all goes back to the book of Deuteronomy 28, where we will not have that. We will not have that because we don't honor our father. We don't honor nothing. We honor ourselves. Look, we the second book of Timothy all day. We the first and second book of Timothy. Am I correct, brother? It's all about me. Money, right? It's all about us. It's all about, you know what? We're going to be rich here, but you're going to be butt naked, broken eternally. The enemy got us reversed. That's what's wrong with our people. We are reversed. Look at every other culture, you all. I'm in the middle, literally between Chicago and Minneapolis. Let me tell you something. The diversity is beyond. I love it. But when I'm looking at every other culture, they stick together like glue. They don't even have to know. If they see one person, listen, they will stop whatever they're doing, whatever they have. I don't care what it is. If one of their persons is building a store, they will stop what they're doing. They go help them start building a store. I've seen it. You know what our people do? They hate. They'll walk past. They think they doing something. And right? Not saying all of us. Don't get it twisted. But y'all know what I'm talking about. And I have a right. Come on, let's keep it 100. Enough is enough. So then we wonder why there's discord. And then also I want to talk about our sisters as well. I roasted our brothers. Trust me, I got a lot to go with our brothers. But our sisters, we have to stop with, okay, I don't mean no disrespect to all of my sisters. I love y'all. But stop trying to look like the European and get mad when brothers go after the Europeans.
Okay. So you mean to tell me?
No, I'm just saying in general. No, I'm
So
just saying in
explain.
general. Listen,
So
they
explain.
blame the brothers. Listen, they blame the brothers all the time. I hear it all the time. They blame the brothers when they go to Latinos, they go to the white women, they go to, Hawaiian women, Thailand women. That just, first of all, the culture is different. But I'm just talking about the look. Okay, subconsciously, if we see our sisters all day in the hood with the straight hair, right? With the straight hair, we subconsciously programmed to be attracted to that. So then when we see the natural thing, we automatically, it's no difference to us. Am I correct, brothers and men? I'm not me personally. I'm just saying subconsciously in generalization. I hang around a lot of brothers that tell me, listen,
and that's why
they don't matter because they say our sisters look like them. Our sisters trying to look like them. That's what I hear from the young generation. That's what they keep saying. Like, I don't care what race. Our women trying to look like them anyway. Right? And I couldn't say nothing back, but okay, well, I would take that to note and just pass it around and just ask and see what people think about it. What do y'all think about that?
Listen, I think we all trying to look like something else. Like it's white, like you said, it's Caucasian women that try to get a tan. They even doing. I mean, I'm not saying that the braids is
Hey, Selena, you beyond right. It's beyond the Caucasian. Well, I'm not going to start it. They've been creating incubators to look like us. They put booty cheek fat in their lips to look like us. So you're right on that. So, but go ahead.
Dominic, do you hear me? Hold on. What I'm saying is we try to do, everybody wants to be something else. Basically. Some white women like darker skin. They like black men. They're getting their hair braided now. They're getting their lips fuller. Black women, we want her. Some of us already have long hair. Like I'm telling somebody, I can wear my hair or a wig. Some of us want hair all the way down our butt. We get it from India. I think we all are in some ways trying to get something from other cultures.
Yes, listen. Hey, can I be honest though with you? You just made a valuable point. Not only did you make it a valuable point, can I just reverse it? And this is nothing to all cultures, no disrespect to any culture. That's also, I need y'all to read the book of Deuteronomy 28. Every culture stole everything from our culture. So we are forgetting, we're picking up the remnants of who we were. And we're stumbling in the dark as a people. We don't have really no roadmaps. We're getting the pieces here, we're getting the pieces here. People taking advantage of the hit, right? They're taking advantage of, because we have like amnesia. We have cultural amnesia. And if you look at every remnant from India, from Brazil, everywhere across, even China, Japan, is remnants of our people. We started all of those cultures. That's facts. You can look on their walls. You can look at the ancient scripts and scrolls. So you brought up a great point. But what I need our sisters to do, and I need our brothers, first of all, already beat us up. We need to step our game up because we ain't nothing. Now, what our sisters need to do, though, is show us tough love, though. Tough, but put the love in it. Y'all giving us the tough without the love. Do you see what I mean? Because I'm telling you, once we activate, you all will have nothing to worry about. And a lot of us are activating. A lot of us are out here. So don't consider us, just like I don't consider all of my sisters the same as, because sometimes I get mad at my own people, you all. I go out in public and it's all our people being disdainful, being loud, being boisterous, just unnecessary stuff. And it's getting kind of irritating because it's making it harder for us who are really doing our thing. So we got to work extra hard just to, we're normal. Whatever that is, but you know what I mean. Socially, like we ain't flipping out. We ain't gonna just flip out.
Right.
I get a lot of our own people are putting a stigma on us, you all. Like for real, it is making it harder on us, and it's time for us to wake up. For real, it is different. Just because you got melanin on me, you want to meet. Now, also in the book of Deuteronomy 28, just because you got melanin on me, you want to bust. So everybody don't qualify. So. Everybody ain't my brother and sister because you got a permanent suntan. So I'm just telling you, it's time to wake up. And I do have to leave. Listen, look, I can't wait till we gotta do this again, brother. Yo, let's go. My sister Selena, please.
I'll get with you on when we can do another discussion.
Let me know what's going on, brother. Hey, please, pass on the information to my brother, would you?
Yeah, I definitely will.
Please give me a call, brother. Let's get it in. And then I'll start my podcast next week, so I need to have both of y'all on the Neural Fusion podcast. So we would have hooked that up. I can't wait. I'm excited. Love you all. Y'all stay blessed. Everybody on here watching, please stay blessed. Do your own research. Don't believe us. Do your own research. Stop being spiritually lazy. Please don't believe us. Do your own research. I repeat, do your own research. All right, I love you all very much.
Thank you, Dominic.
I love you all.
Yeah, I have to agree with Dominic when he was talking about how with the some things with the women as far as like us not having that spiritual, that covering. And sometimes some women, not all, they do go to other things to feel empowered or to feel desirable or to feel wanted. Basically, it's just it's all about basic human needs that every human needs. We all need love. We all need to feel seen. We all need to feel like somebody's listening to us or someone cares about us. And sometimes that's why so many people go into different kind of cults. I would even say some churches could be like cults because it seems like some people, they just need answers. They just want to feel safe, and they go into things or go into organizations that might be more detrimental than help, and I think that's why some people cling on to, not all, but some people cling on to astrology because it gives them some type of guidance in their life, some type of hope. I remember when I was into astrology years and years ago, because I had so many people, what is, they were like, what is your sign? You're different or whatever. And I was like, okay. So I would say, oh, I guess I'm a Sagittarius. They're like, oh, you're a Sagittarius. So I started looking it up, and then I started looking up different I guess signs that I was more compatible with than others. And I'm just like, it is very alluring. It's very to me, once you get involved in it, it's kind of hard for you not to see what your sign is saying. Even though you know your personality, right? It's still like you be wanting to know, like, oh, so what they say about this, what they, and it's just, it can really get kind of addicting into some, and some people don't even realize that they are getting really involved in astrology because that's their identity. They like, well, I'm a Taurus, so I'm gonna act this way, or I'm a Virgo, so I'm this type of way. And that's not always the case. It could be that's just who you are. That's how your makeup is, or the trauma or whatever you've been through made you who you are. There's a lot of different reasons the way you are, and it has nothing to do with a horoscope sign. That's what I realized, But I was into astrology and I had to get out of it. I actually, and every now and then it's like little things will try to kind of make it's like it kind of make my curiosity like, well, what is it saying? Oh, about this, like, and I just say, no, I can't get back into that. That's something, and it has to be some type of thing that holds you to it, because it's kind of like even though it's not all real, it does kind of keep you wondering, like, what does it have to say today? Like, yeah, I'm just really big on, personality traits and understanding, why I'm this way. And that's why I kind of started reading astrology, was trying to understand my personality traits and stuff like that. And once I started to really just to get to know myself rather than what the astrology sign says, I was kind of able to kind of just get away from it. But it does sometimes, the curiosity sometimes still comes up. It's kind of like being addicted to something,
Yeah,
and it's weird. How can you be addicted to astrology?
because it's a spirit,
Exactly.
so it talks to you. That's the addiction, and that's how all of those practices states, it talks to you. You can take some time away from it, step away, like maybe some people try to break away from things, what have you, and then they get that call, like they feel like something's calling them back, or maybe they'll get a gift or something like, oh wow, stuff start going my way. Maybe it'll be like I don't know, say like, hey, Sagittarius. I know this might sound corny and cliche because we even hear this like on radio stations and stuff like that. But Sagittarius getting free, all Tauruses, you get in free, a free hat. It might be corny, but then you'll be like, hey, I just so happen to hit it. I'm a Taurus, and then I heard something about Taurus, and I got it free, and I got a free hat. It situations like that will present itself, or maybe it would be a Taurus, for example, give you a free hat if it's not going somewhere, pay for something for you, or what have you. See, I knew that's, and then if you go read your horoscope for that particular day or week or whatever it is, you're like, wow, they said a person will come in, da 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 da, they'll give you something free, I don't know, whatever, and it'll make your day, and then you end up because there's a lot of generalizations in it. So you'll be like, yeah, that's me, and it just it's something, it's structured to keep a person attached. And that's where we should not be in any state to where we're codependent. The only thing, if anything, we should be codependent on is God. There should be no codependency on a person, place, thing, or idea. A lot of things in astrology are just that, ideas. So it forms that codependency, and then we don't realize how the spirit realm works because our pastors in the traditional churches don't talk about that. That's where we get misguided. It's like, well, I've been to church, I read Deuteronomy, I've been here, I've seen this book, that book, et cetera, and I never learned this for like 13 years in church. Okay, but just because it wasn't taught there doesn't mean that there isn't more to learn. There's always more to learn about everything. It just depends on who you're around and your willingness to learn. And what we were taught though is that if you learn from anyone else per se outside of those traditional organized religious structures, that you weren't getting what would have been known to be right and accurate. And then we didn't have, we were taught by our family lineage, we did have a matriarch, like Pastor Dominic was saying. We didn't have that grandmama or great, whatever, or the dad, or what have you, that all we do is go to the church building, go do this, do that. And that was like the end all be all to that. Let that pastor or let them teach you. But what we really had the ball dropped on was that they weren't actually teaching us. I mean, there were those that did teach the entire family, but in terms of what we have now, no one really does that anymore. You don't even have families sit together, sit down. Everyone's too busy trying to get money. Everyone's gotta do this. You don't have parents to sit down with their kids to do schoolwork, or let alone eat with them. So how would they be able to have time to really talk to them about spirituality and whatever faith or religion that they believe in and the questions that they have as it relates to that? Um, this is big, and so we have to just re-energize that whole narrative and us like conversations like this show. That's what this is doing. It's getting people like the audience is like, wow, you know what? Maybe I do need to sit down and talk to this person or not, or incorporate something, or let me do a little bit more studying on my own. Um, like the scripture says in Timothy 2:15, you got to study to show thyself approved. You can't take my word for it or anyone's word for it.
Right.
You have to do it on your own. Any
Right.
good teacher will tell you that. Study on your own, learn on your own. Sure, come to me if you need help. Come to me if there's something you have questions about, but you study on your own. And that's how you become great. You're gonna find that out on your own, like all the like children are the greatest in the kingdom of heaven because they have that natural curiosity. They would go explore. They're hungry. They have a humbleness of spirit. They're willing to learn, et cetera, et cetera. They have all the elements to be great. So we have to get back to that and really want it. And when we try to go that way, it's just so much temptation and so much noise. I think what's good for people is instead of, hey, if a horoscope is jumping out or a spiritual practice is popping up, or maybe someone suggests something or recommend for you to go somewhere or go to this church or study this. What I would recommend is for everyone before you make any moves, just take a little time. Take if it's just hours at the least, but if you can't take a couple of days or a couple of weeks, or even months, if you have that kind of time, if that resonates for you, if that works for you, take that time first before you go in any direction and try to just get used to clearing your mind, clearing your soul. I mean, however you got to go about asking God, or maybe get somebody might need to pray for you. Whatever it is that you got to do is different for each person. So nobody can say this is the only way you can seek that clarity. Whatever it takes, get that clarity, get that peace, quiet the noise, and then start making a decision on, okay, I might be interested in looking at this or going in this direction. And if you do, hopefully you have someone or try to find someone or find sources. It could be a book or anything, but sources to where I'm looking into this practice here, or I'm curious and looking into this practice. So let me actually speak to an expert or find out. There was a lot of times, for example, I give like people a quick example. People, when I used to be all into the new age, people would say, hey, I want to open up my third eye. Hey, I want to talk to this spirit. I want to be able to do these rituals. I want to go to the crossroads and talk to Papa Legro and all this craziness or what have you. I would tell people a lot of times none of them were qualified or should even be going in that direction. But we don't consult experts. We don't consult people that are already there. And so we'll just go down a path and figure that's where we need to be. Baby, you can't cook. I know you want to go down a path of cooking, but you can't cook, or you're not an artist, or you're not an athlete, or you're not a fashion designer, or you're not an engineer, or you're not a teacher, what have you. And if you did even want to still go in that direction, then there's a path and there's a way to go about it. And I talked about that before. When you study history, all the people that wanted to engage in any form of spirituality, they were under a mentorship. They had programs, they had training. For instance, like Karate Kid. I like to always refer to like Karate Kid. Before Daniel LaRusso, before Danielson could learn any moves, he was like, Mr. Miyagi, teach me this. You know, Johnny, they beat me up. They beat me up. Come on, Mr. Miyagi, I seen what you could do. Show me just something. He was driving Mr. Miyagi crazy with that. Mr. Miyagi was like, clean up, wax on, wax off. Little did he know that actually is a form of martial arts. Wax on, wax off. That's a form of Wing Chun, Ba Gua. I understand. I'm trained in martial arts. Been trained for like like 40 years. So I understand these things, but he didn't know that. But a mentor, he was under the mentorship. So that expert had him to do things that maybe he didn't understand at that time. And then remember when Miss Miyagi showed him, Miss Miyagi was like, here, boom, and you could see Daniel, like wax on or wax off. And he was like, oh. So I'm saying that when we decide to go down certain spiritual roads and engage in certain things, we really need to be under a leadership or some type of mentorship, even if you take a program, because a lot of people go and they don't do it properly. And when you do anything without doing it the right way, you can get hurt. So that's something I recommend. I'm not going to tell people, well, hey, don't go down this path or what have you. I mean, I have my stances personally. If someone came to me and my personal convictions, but everyone has to do what they believe where they are. I just recommend them to have a mentor first.
So, do you hear echo or do you hear any feedback?
It's a lot better. Like when you're talking, I don't hear it, but when I'm talking, I can hear the feedback.
Okay, so you can't hear it, and see, these are the things I like to talk about. But I'm starting to, I don't know. I guess I'm gonna need your help to kind of branch me out to different people, a different sector, because people are not, a lot of people, are some good people. They, intelligent people, but some people are just not really into this type of content. And you can tell because of your numbers. And see, these are the things that are, to me, I would think would be more insightful or something to actually to be, talked about. Um, Not me going off on somebody that tried to call me out. That's when you have, and I know I'm switching the subject, but I just see how people move, and it's really kind of, and this is how I know I'm going in the right direction, even though it doesn't look that way. It looks really messed up, and it looks like you have to put on a show for people and get all in other people's ass for people to see that, for people to find it entertaining. But when you're talking about things like this, conspiracies, things that spiritual things that as people we have lost a sense of, I would say, compassion, empathy, sympathy for another human being. When you want to talk about things like this, you get 3 to 5 people in the chat. But when you're sitting up here cussing somebody out, calling somebody dog face, calling somebody all kind of bitches and hoes, excuse me, I'm going somewhere with this. This is, or you're doing the latest gossip of who's sleeping with who in the celebrity world. Like these people actually gonna give you money or anything. This is when your chat fills up. You know what I'm saying? And I'm really seeing how, as human beings, especially in this day and time, we're in some trouble. Because if that's the only thing that draws your attention is the foolery, as they call it on YouTube, the fuck shit, you really kind of, you need to do some evaluation. Now I understand everybody has their cup of tea. I'm not everybody's cup of tea, just like everybody that is not mine. But I do feel like the type of subjects I talk about, that people, you know, it comes out. People talk about those things. People talk about astrology. People talk about uh Egyptology and all of this, or what's the comparison between people that practice Christianity and people that practice this religion. So I don't understand, you know, I don't try, and I'm like, when I'm entertaining to an extent, when I guess to some people, when I'm cussing somebody out, when I'm reading somebody their rights, or when I break somebody from A to Z. People they wanna know. They wanna get in the chat. They wanna be supportive and yeah, amen. What about stuff like this? What about stuff where I'm not in the camera with all my tits out and little shorts on, and I just don't understand. See, this is the kind of content I like. And so that's why I know, even though it looks bad, even though it looks scary, I just have to stay focused on the type of content that I like to see. When I go to different platforms, I like to see thought-provoking conversations. I like to see when people have difference of opinion, but they can still agree to disagree. You know, um, I like how Anton, what's his name,
Todd
Daniels,
Daniels.
yeah, and and his how his channel grew, and now he probably has maybe close to 1 million subs. But I remember when they just had open panels where they would have certain people up there talking about different issues, and that's the kind of stuff that I like. But I just find it so funny how some people are drawn. They say they want different type of content. They say they don't want all the drama all the time. They want something different. But when you actually get something different, you don't know how to appreciate it. Then you got mother suckers that in some ways, some content creators, they be feeling away. And they'll try, because they're into the drama, they'll try to squeeze your numbers. You know what I'm saying? So you'll have that niggas trying to squeeze your numbers because they into the foolishness on here. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, we all have our days, where we want to see something entertainment. Some people going back and forth to an extent, but I'm like, I really sometimes, when you are going in the right direction, it don't look right.
Correct. Yes.
It doesn't, it's not, and maybe that's my ego, but it just doesn't look right. It doesn't feel good. Sometimes you feel like, I don't know for you, but on certain, like I was looking at your panel, your platform the other day when you were talking about the Twitch situation. I want to talk about that later. I'm gonna do a live with, excuse me, with you on that, because I really want to talk about that. I didn't really get involved in it. I do feel like it's a lot of fishy stuff going on with that situation. So I will have you back if you're available. I want to really talk about that, but I just want to. It just really is baffling to me. How when you were talking about the Twitch situation, you had like 100 people in the chat.
Yeah.
That's good. For your channel and everything. I think you have like what 32,000 subscribers. So you had like 100 and something people in the chat, and so people are interested in knowing the gossip of basically. Did she have anything to do with her husband's demise, right?
Correct.
So people are interested in that. But when you're talking about the drones, or if you're talking about anything biblical, your chat may go up to 20 to 30, maybe, and it's amazing to me. People like what they like. Hey, what can we say? And I have to remind myself to keep doing me, regardless of the numbers, regardless of how dry it may seem at the time, uh, just to keep, just doing me. I'm sorry, I had to say that because I really just felt like that, because this is like, it's amazing. Certain things that I have been talking about lately, and that is not have anything to do with any drama, not addressing anybody, not doing any subliminals, talking about someone. But when it comes to just life and how different people have different perspectives and the things that's going on in the world, people are just like, oh, okay, let me go on next.
You're right. And that's something that even like me, a couple of the other brothers, Rollo, Rico, a few other people, we've been saying the same thing. if we talk about the typical quote unquote drama, exciting, what's happening in this person's life or the situation, what's the latest update, people flop.
Mm-hmm.
Real stuff that people say they want to hear, they want that diversity, they want that type of content, they don't
That's not
show up.
true. Yeah, that's not necessarily true.
Their actions are telling us.
Mm-hmm.
And what I say is, I say, if that's what you're into, and that's the only reason why you jump on the internet, or the only reason why you're supporting people or a particular content creator, when calamity strikes, when stuff gets shaken up enough, like I said, shake up, break up, wake up, make up. That's what 2025 is all about. So maybe stuff had been shaken up enough in your life or broken up enough in your life, but when it does, that's when people come running to God. As soon as everything, oh no, this happened, now I'm gonna call on
Right.
God. But yet the scripture says we're supposed to be calling on Him all before that stuff takes place.
Right.
Um,
Right.
I think we're gonna have a big collective humbling moment. And that's why
Mm-hmm.
things are not the only reason, but that's one of the reasons why things are taking place out here in the world. People are starting to get uncomfortable. Like, what's happening? I thought this was going to go this way, or it's
Right.
they're feeling pressure by the pressure of other individuals. You can say it's peer pressure, but I don't really want to say that because it's like they're trying to force you to react or go in any different direction. But you're seeing other people, you feel them being or you're seeing them people around us in society. So now it's creating that space. And it's actually like that on social media. People are trying to act like it's not. A lot of people are trying to continue to do the same old thing, but that's not going to work because everything is shaking up. It's shifting. And
Mm-hmm.
so, like how you were saying, you're saying who you are in your content. That's exactly back to what we were talking about spiritually. Pastor Dominic was talking about that everybody's going outside to say, I need my hair to look like this. I need my cars, my clothes. This is how I'm supposed to act. Culture says this, says that. No matter who we are, we're all looking out instead of looking in. And this is also reflected with people out there. They're looking out. I want to see what's going on here, what's going on, all this outer stuff. I need to know about that instead of focusing
Mm-hmm.
on the inner stuff. And the inner stuff is where it's at. People don't seem to be concerned with that yet until
Mm-hmm.
things get shaken up in whole. Meaning, it could be their particular set of content creators that they watch. They see things change, or things happen. It could be their TV show that they watch. It's like, wait a minute, it's not the same. It's a lot of changes that will take place, small and big. And so once that happens,
Right.
that's when you're gonna find like a reversal. So then people are gonna be looking for the type of content that you're talking about, Selena. That's when they're like, hey, this is what I need, this is what I want, versus
Right.
kind of like when we had the pandemic. Everybody was stuck at home. Everybody was sheltered at home, and so they were looking at content on how to do things at home versus out and about. And so right now, everyone's focused on all this drama, all this. It's things that distract their mind instead of getting back to the when you look within, then you can do what you need to do to grow. You see things, you keep things intact. You're gonna work on areas that can be worked on, and people don't like to do that. So they will justify themselves with someone else's drama, someone else's situation, so it make them feel better. They all, it's no different than church. They're coming for a feel good religion.
Right.
That's why they
Right.
come here. I want to feel good. I want Selena to make me feel good. I can hear her see her upset, or see her talking about this person, or see me talking about her, and then what they gotta say. Like it's all feelings. It's not spirit led. It's flesh led. So
Right. 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 And I also want to talk about this. This is going to be on the next slide. But I wanted to talk a little bit about the thought culture in today's world, the men and the women. And I see a lot of that going on. People just out there just starting their asses away, excuse me, but they have no regard for I guess it's all about having a good time, you know. But I think people have really, I don't even think that sex is valuable anymore to people. Believe it's just, let's just have fun. Let's just see where it goes. We'll go from there. Like, so it's like, other than that, you know, hey, um, let's just keep it fun. I don't want anything more. And you have some men, and a lot of men and women, that are okay with that, because relationships, marriage comes with too much of a big of a price. It's too much of a big sacrifice. It's too much of a sacrifice, and I have to compromise things, and I don't want to compromise anything because I'm just a selfish person, right? So I don't know, I just see that it's just a really a thought culture, and I might do a live on that called Thought Nation.
Wow.
It's a lot of thought nations around here. There's a lot of people that they don't care about anything but their needs. I don't know this silly heifer. She know what she got going on. I'm sorry. It's this girl. I'm in the parking lot. I'm sorry, brainwaves. I'm in the
Oh,
parking lot, and you got this girl. I don't know what's going on. She going back and forth in the parking lot. I don't know, but she better stay where she is, cause baby, I you know me. I'm getting close to Jesus, but don't get it twisted.
monitoring spirits.
I'm up to my car.
I know
Yeah,
that's the people. They be monitoring. They just be sitting trying to figure out what's going on. Again, because they don't be filled with the Holy Spirit. Because if they did, they would have work to do.
yeah,
But
we all selfish in our own way, a sanctuary. But some people in this, especially day and time, are more selfish than others. Like, they don't think about anybody. It's all about what they want.
yeah, that's what the scripture
He
says.
said, would rather see people be selfish rather than pushovers. I would rather people, and I would rather for me to be balanced. You know, I understand there's some things that only is for me. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you know, if you don't love yourself first, if you don't take care of your needs, then you're abusing yourself. You know, so you gotta, first of all, yes, love yourself and take care of yourself first, because you can't take care of nobody else. But at the same time, remember other people, and remember that other people have feelings too. So I think that it's good to have a balance. Selfish is a part of human nature. The problem that I see, people are just overly, they're too selfish. And it's all about me, myself, and I. No, it just seems like people don't know how to have a medium. I'm not saying putting yourself on the back burner while everybody else is doing their thing and having a good time. No, yeah, do you. But at the same time, don't uh, don't forget other people. Don't be so into yourself that you can't see that other people have feelings too. That's all I'm saying.
And the
Right.
scripture talks about it. Second Timothy, chapter 3, verses 1 through 7. In these last
Mhm.
days, or these perilous times, that's what we in. People will be
Yeah, there's
lovers of
lovers
themselves,
of themselves.
narcissists.
Yeah,
That's not.
lovers of them.
That ain't
So
you. That get you unalive.
that part,
You like, I love me. I just want to do. Okay, keep on and see. Just keep
you'll
going.
find
Keep
out.
rapping. F around and find
Right.
out, like they say.
You'll find out. Yeah. And then I want to talk about that as well. I want to talk about some of these YouTubers now. And I need to go do some research, but it's some YouTubers that have actually had some situations on here where people was like, you know, they were doing all that mouth work. They were doing all that talking, and somebody, you know, they met their match. And I want to talk about that. So I'm gonna do a live on that. How people just really need to watch what they say to other people that they don't know. You don't know, just because a person may look away, you don't know that person could be the craziest person you could ever meet. They just hide it well by their appearance. So you gotta be careful about that. So I want to talk a little bit about that. Now, and I don't want to have an open panel because I want to get people's perspective. Also about the thought nation, how I feel like the world today is just a thought nation. Everybody's just all about having a good time and just have no respect for other people or themselves for that matter, because at the end of the day, I still believe your body should be sacred and everybody shouldn't be up in your body, and you shouldn't be sticking everybody that moves. So that's just my opinion. There's too many STDs out there and
Physically and spiritually transmitted diseases as well.
that part too. So hey, do what you do, boo, if that's what you feel. But Sanctuary, this is my first time seeing you, so thank you for coming through. I really appreciate you. I hope that you like, share, and subscribe. Oh, and also, Brainwaves, if you could share my channel so that I can get up to at least 2,000. I've been struggling in these past
Oh yeah,
couple of
1.9
days.
now. Yeah.
Yeah, to get up to 2,000, I'll get close, and then I get back down. Get close, then I get back down. So if you can help me or something to get to that 2,000 and beyond, I really, really appreciate it. But yeah, shout out to Brainwave, shout out to Dominic and Amber. I really appreciate everybody that came up on my platform. I'm about to get in this gym and work out this stress that I had from dealing with you said okay, thank you. So that I just left from all the stress of dealing with those kids. And honey, I definitely need to get in the gym and work some of that frustration out. And but I really appreciate this conversation. And I'm sorry I kind of went left, not left, but I deterred the conversation went down a different road because I just kind of get irritated a little bit. I really do. I really do. I get irritated with the process I'm taking to get to the less drama. And when I see myself getting to the less drama, not addressing everything or letting things go, I find myself in a dry season on this app, and you've probably experienced it a lot too.
Right.
So you can kind of maybe see, and I think Rollo was talking about it a couple of weeks ago. People they say they want certain things, but they don't really want it. At least not what you're giving. So
But when you
I
go
find.
to the next level, Selena, this is what
Uh,
we've been saying. But when people see you, what they believe that you're on another level now, a higher level, like you've got increase in your life, what they understand, that's
mm,
when they're gonna want to be all apart. Then they're gonna want to be nosy. Ooh, Selena's here. Selena's she's in the studio recording, or she got these type of people. I see her doing that. Then they're gonna want to like get extra hungry. It's crazy how the flesh works.
mm,
That's when they want to come back around. But in that grind mode, in that drought season, like you said, it's like, or let something happen to you. Let's say you take a notch down. Not say you put your business out there, or not say anything is happening because it's not. But I'm just giving an example. Say something
mm,
happen to you or me, then they'll come flocking in to your channel. Ooh, I want to see what's going on with Selena. I heard this happen. I heard that happen.
mm,
People got the wrong. I'm gonna say this. That just says to me that people that are consumed with that mindset, that behavior, have nothing going on in their lives.
absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
Absolutely. Like I said, I have so much stuff going on in my life, good and some challenging. I'm not gonna say not so good, but challenging. But I don't have time to be worried about somebody else's failure, whether I like, especially those I don't like or I can't stand. I don't have time to be waiting on their failures or their demise or whatever. I just move along and try to do the best that I can in my life. So that's kind of just where I am right now. But I am definitely in a dry season, but you know what? We're not going to stay there long because we're in a winning season, regardless if it's dry. Even if it's dry, we still winning somehow. Whether in the future, it could be a day from now, it could be a month, or it could be however long. We still gonna get there one way or the other. So I'm just looking forward to that. So and I also I thank God for the droughts. I thank God for the valleys. Because sometimes, you know, life, you it seems like a valley and it seems like you've been there for a minute. Um, you think you're coming out, you're going over the hill and you're getting close, and then you're back in that, you go down that mountain and you're in that darn valley again. Okay. And so
Right.
you're like, oh my God, you know, forgive me, I'm not trying to say his name in vain, but it's like, oh my Lord, what in the world? I thought I was this close. Just like I thought I was this close from getting 2,000 subs.
They've
Just
done
this
that.
close.
They've done me like that too, Selena. I've had well, I've had like crazy influxes of subscribers, and then
Hmm.
out some of the situations on YouTube, then you get a bunch of people who try to do things spiritually and put a bad word, get people to unsubscribe. So then it's like you actually end up losing the subscribers that you had even before you started the game. So like you backtrack and then you got to go back building up. I have like cycles of that. But I don't
Right.
let it stop me. I just continue to stay true to me, talk about the content that I know I need to talk about, and everything will balance itself out. We're going through a cycle right now, and
Right.
some people haven't felt that yet. We could say, for example, maybe people like California, obviously, that's a situation they felt it. People that either
Right.
have family members or they have been, for example, been deportated. They
Oh
may
yeah.
have felt. I'm just giving like examples that they're feeling that reality hit, and so with
Hmm.
them, they have a different perception of what's important and where they're going and what's meaningful to them. When things hit people as a whole, I guess things had hit people as a whole because everybody's still on party mode. But when it
Right.
hits people as a whole and they wake up and they see what it is, it's going to get them to get right. And people say, well, why would that happen? Well, because you partying and you don't care, you don't want to go to work, and you think these things aren't important. So unfortunately, we God allows us to go through those valleys. They know I walk through the valley. We're going to have circumstances that will act crazy. Like I don't know about it. We're going to have to go through it to get out. So
Right. Right. Right.
them
Well,
things in
I definitely have a great time talking to you. I really did. I'm finna go in here. I'm like I said, I'm finna go in this gym. I'm just gonna say bye. I'm finna go into the gym and work off some of these pounds. Uh, and just kind of get it together. But I
what's up.
definitely appreciate you, and I will be reaching out to you for our next one. Okay.
Right. I'll be if you know how I do. If I can't get into a conversation, if I let you know I'm gonna be there, I'll be there.
All right. Love you to Reese's Pieces, Brainwaves. Thank you
Amen,
so
sis.
much, Brainwaves, Dominic, and Miss Amber for joining my panel. Really appreciate all of your support. You definitely, you guys have really been a blessing to me. Especially, we still going strong. You are, I've proven to myself that I can get to know people on YouTube and still be cool with them. So thank you for that. Um, so yeah, I really appreciate your brainwaves for all the support. And you guys, brainwaves, if you are if you have time, put your link in the chat so people can sub up to you. So when you go live, they will be able to come on your live stream and see what you're all about. Like I said, he talks about a lot of different things, from spiritual things to things that's going on in the world, things that are going on in the celebrity world, especially like I said, you were talking about the Twitch and his wife situation. Um, he's just a well versed person, so check him out. He's a well versed content creator. He doesn't talk about one particular genre. He has a lot of different things that he talks about. So you guys check Brainwaves out. Sub up to him. Sub up. And what else? I will be getting back with you on the other topics as well.
All right.
Um, and what else? I was going to say something else.
Let's get Selena to 2K now. Come on now. If y'all not subbed up, y'all better sub up. Like,
Yeah,
don't
hey, riders.
come on, y'all. We appreciate y'all. Let's spread the word. I'll tell you
Yeah.
people to step up seriously, and I mean that. You all like Selena. I know you do. Some of you I'm familiar with, others of you you're new. And I know you got people that you fellowship with, you talk to, have you on a job, at home, whatever your house. Let those people know about you. You know, all you gotta do is just, hey, just tell them to subscribe. You don't even have to even tell them right here. Go here, let me see your phone. Y'all know how y'all do, especially you ladies. Let me see your
Uh-huh.
phone. Get the phone. It's go to her channel, Selena, hit subscribe, and then boom. And then the rest, let's do the rest.
Thank you. And I'm sorry for the echo. I am on my phone. I need to go get apparently I need to get another phone so that I can stop echoing. So, but for right now, this is what I have until I get home. So I'm sorry about that, writers. But yeah, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you so much, Brainwaves. Be looking for a call from me pretty soon. And we're gonna get this popping, okay?
Ma'am, will do.
All right. Love you to Reese's Pieces.
I'll be the Reese's Pieces too.
Okay. Everybody, thank you so much for coming through, whether it was pressing the like button or showing me some love through pressing the cash app. Uh, I didn't get any super chats today, so maybe in the future I'll get one. But thank you so much for joining me, just showing your support. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Selena.
It's a vibe, baby. Oak Cliff girl, can't make you change my world. Damn, you're so fine, girl. Oak Cliff girl, put them heels on and rule.
Welcome to Selena's Couch, where you are welcome to be free to be yourself. So you can lay your head on my couch, on my pillows.
It's all good, we can do whatever we wanna do now. I'm in my bag right now, and I got a feeling, babe, yeah. You gon' be my number one lover. Spend the night making love to each other, with the lights on top of the covers, just me and you, babe. And I feel like you're my
Love you to Reese's Pieces.
Get you a word. Nana nana boo boo.